Saturday is the busiest day of the week for everybody. And if you look at it from a financial point of view, it's the biggest income generator. So why not? Take off on Tuesday. Done.
And so what do you think is your legacy? You're still part of it, but you're not as involved as you used to be.
No, I don't know about legacy. We all tried hard, but like now I enjoyed just yesterday, I saw a 6-month-old baby and the mother came to us and she called me Dr. B. Like a new patient, I wouldn't call me Dr. B. So relationship there, and it just makes things much smoother and nicer. I enjoyed that. We just all try to work hard and keep it moving along.
And when you came into it, do you think that the beast, the goose would last 60, 70 years?
Yeah, I was certainly hoping so. I was young, but no, I can see we all worked hard. We did what we had to do to keep things going. So now I always looked at other practices. A lot of pediatric patients on Long Island, there's not a shortage of kids. So you knew if we just worked hard, like Dr. Brown said, and took care of the practice, we would thrive. I always felt it.
I know Neil used to say all the time, and Dr. Kaplan, the practice is better than any one physician. And I think that's the glue.
Yeah. That is a very
still that onto everybody else, onto Jim, onto Nick, to Scott, so they don't get crazy on me.
Yeah, it's like a kibbutz mentality, right? It's the community is more important than the individual, which is not seen a lot in our modern day. Everybody cares about themselves and not about the community as much. And Dr. Raymond, you came in later and brought all your beautiful patients to the RBK.
Interestingly, my first encounter with Dr. Reichman, Dr. Brown, Dr. Kaplan was when I joined residency at Good Samaritan Hospital. That was in 1970, and was very friendly with them. They were the attendings. I was the resident. And then, of course, after graduating, finishing the residency, I joined Dr. Grello for 5 years and then started my own practice. And when time came to retire, George Rogu was great. He said, come and join us. We'll take your practice over. We had a great talk, and that's how it started with RBK. I never knew that RBK had an office in Brentwood.
We did.
Yeah, that I didn't know. I knew the Comac office. But
one year.
where in Brentwood was that?
That was Dr. Platnick's office, right?
Dr. Platnick's office.
Yes, but
Okay.
Reisman and Brown did not have a mutual relationship with Bruce.
Yeah.
But I had a great time during residency dealing with Mike especially, and also with Reichman and Brown. With Reichman, the only problem at that time was his handwriting. I had to run after him every time and say, what have you written? We didn't have computers then.
Yeah.
They were all handwritten charts. So he would read it out and the nurses would be happy. Hey, you got that out of him. What a nice man.
Interesting thing, Scott, you don't know this story, but how Dr. Raymond and I decided to make the Dr. Raymond chapter of RBK was one day I get an instant message on Facebook from Dr. Raymond. Hey, I'm looking to retire. I got this computer stuff that's giving me a headache. You guys interested in merging? From Facebook Messenger. You don't remember that, Dr. Raymond?
Yeah, I don't remember that.
That's how it started. And then we met with Neil and Jim, I think. I don't remember exactly who it was that was there. We went to that diner down the street.
Right.
Yes.
And, what I remember of Dr. Raymond's practice joining us was, the computers. We had to bring in the computers to his office. It was going to give him a headache. He didn't like computers, as Dr. Kaplan didn't like computers.
But once I got used to it, then I said, how did we ever do without it?
I know. And we had those scribes that all typed for you, and he danced around and he did your Dr. Raymond thing. But I think the most important thing that we learned from Dr. Raymond was, and he taught me, how to be a physician, which is a concept that a lot of people in the younger generation don't know. I don't know if it's a learned behavior or it's a natural behavior, but how to become a physician.
Yeah.
It's important.
The compassionate care, I call it.
No,
And that's the key to my success.
that's pretty good. So I think that's why we have the whole world dedicated. And we still have your patients, Dr. Raymond,